This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Sharp Don's lawyer threatens to unmask Sir P over alleged defamatory allegations. Donovan Collins, the attorney-at-law representing popular dancehall producer Linval Thompson Jr., also known as Sharp Don, has issued a warning to bloggers to cease and desist from spreading what he dubs as a false and damaging information about his client. Sharp Don was the subject of a police investigation recently where he faced gun charges and had been in police custody since October 2021. He was, however, freed of all charges when he appeared in the Home Circuit Court in Kingston earlier this month. In a video posted to Sharp Don's Records official Instagram page, Collins said his client is a well-established businessman who is uninvolved in criminal activities. He added that statements made by one popular vlogger in particular have hurt the reputation of the dancehall producer. Linval Thompson Jr. is a partner of Sharp Don Records, which is a well-established recording company. Now, Mr. Thompson Jr. has been the victim of several defamatory videos which have been posted by popular vlogger Sir P of Politrix Watch. Sir P of Politrix Watch has sent out several videos, and in these videos, he has clearly stated that Linval Thompson Jr. is involved in several crimes, murders, shootings, and also that he is part of gang activities, Collins said. Collins categorically denied the allegations, noting that he is prepared to unmask Sir P if he does not desist from defaming his client. We intend to take all the necessary legal steps to ensure that Mr. Thompson Jr.'s reputation is protected. Now, I know that Sir P has been hiding behind a wall, but I would like Mr. Sir P to know there are steps that can be taken legally to tear down that wall so that the public can know who you are, he said. He continued, these defamatory videos have caused Mr. Linval Thompson to suffer severe reputational harm. It has also caused him to suffer damages, and we are demanding that Sir P of Politrix Watch cease and desist from publishing any further defamatory videos about Mr. Linval Thompson Jr. Sharp Don was freed of all firearm-related charges when he appeared in the Home Circuit Division of the Gun Court in April. The news understands that the prosecution offered no evidence against the record producer. His co-accused, Romaro Scott, was sentenced to 6 years and 1 month for illegal possession of firearm and 4 years and 1 month for illegal possession of ammunition. Both sentences will run concurrently. Child among 3 shot, 1 fatally in Hanover. A child was among 3 people shot in Cascade, Hanover about 8:30 p.m. on Wednesday. An adult victim is reported to have succumbed. The victims were at their gate when a car reportedly drove up. A group of men got out and started firing, injuring the child and 2 others. The injured victims were rushed to the Noel Holmes Hospital in Lucy, where 1 person was pronounced dead and the others admitted in serious condition. Cornpea Settlement resident in race against the time for better living conditions. As the days draw nearer to the upcoming rainy season, Cornpea Settlement Clarendon resident, 60-year-old Claudette Montague, is on the edge. She dreads the hurricane season, which she said will be a trial for her. Montague, who sells shopping bags and masks on the streets of Maypen, told the news that she is in a race against the time to have a good roof over her head. However, thanks to caretaker for the area, Marsha Curlew, who reached out to Member of Parliament for the constituency, Lothian Cousins, Montague said she got 1,000 blocks and some steel to begin construction on her house. Although her 3 children are unable to assist financially, she said her son, who lives in Spanish Town, enlisted the assistance of a friend and worked on the house, taking it to where it is now. The rainy season coming and me really want to come out of it. Every time me see rain start, Drew, me have to beg God to hold it, she said. Montague, who was overcome with emotions while speaking, insisted that she really needs the help in an effort to convince others of her cry for a helping hand. From the vending she does, Montague said it is only by the grace of God that she is able to make enough to put food on the table for herself and her grandson, who lives with her. Calculating her fare at $340 for the day to get to Maypen, She said that most times she makes between $2,000 to $3,000 for her selling. Listing her expenses, she said that it cost her $3,000 weekly to take her grandson to school and pick him up in the evenings. She is, however, thanking God for small mercies, as she said her sister allows her to use her water and light, so she isn't stuck with those expenses. While the house is a more pressing matter for her, Montague also has an enlarged thyroid, but has to live with it because she has no money to have it removed. The last time I went to the doctor in Mandeville, he said it was $150,000, plus I have to do some tests, and it cost a lot of money. I already did the ultrasound and it is not cancerous, but I want to remove it, she said, concerning the discomfort of walking around with a huge swelling under her chin. Montague is hoping that some good Samaritan will have pity on her and assist in completing the structure, which still has a way to go. If my kids had it, they would help, but they are struggling too, she said as she made a final plea for help. Davey Bran remanded. Davey Bran, the man who is charged in connection with the abduction of 2 girls in Bath, St. Thomas in October last year, as well as the abduction and the rape of a woman in Portland last month, has been further remanded. He is to appear in the Portland Circuit Court on June 8. Bran is charged with rape, forcible abduction, and grievous sexual assault in relation to the Portland incident, which reportedly took place on March 10. It's alleged that Bran abducted a female pedestrian, dragged her into the bushes, and raped her. Bran, who is 34 years old, was held on March 23 in the community of Durham in Portland. He is to appear in the St. Thomas Parish Court on Friday on separate charges in relation to incidents in St. Thomas. Last week, the St. Thomas police charged him with 3 counts of forcible abduction, 5 counts of rape, 2 counts of grievous sexual assault, and unlawful wounding. Holness defends decision to end the mask mandate and COVID-19 testing for visitors. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has defended the government's decision to end its mask mandate and the requirement for COVID-19 testing by people entering Jamaica, saying it is up to citizens to act responsibly. The government discontinued both measures last week, Friday. While he acknowledged the concerns, Mr. Holness said it has become increasingly difficult to maintain the restrictions. Still, he argued that Jamaicans are rational people who are capable of acting responsibly without their freedom being compromised.
We will never compromise the freedom of the people, right? So what we have said is we're giving advice, we are strongly recommended that you wear your mask, you sanitize, you maintain social distance, and you exercise a degree of caution. You're going somewhere you're not certain of, act with due regard. It takes nothing off you in wearing your mask. There are no fashion statements, and nobody looks at you strangely until the scientific evidence is that the pandemic has passed. Up until now, the WHO has not said so. So we ought to maintain a certain level of vigilance, but that vigilance has to be exercised by the individual. Obviously, schools, institutions like hotels, you can do your own assessment. The government will from time to time give an indication as to what the high-level threats are. And from that, you can implement your own measures that you would require.
St. Catherine residents reminded of the dangers of bushfires. While there was a decline in the number of bushfires reported in the St. Catherine Division last year, residents are being reminded of the destruction they cause when they do occur. Bushfires and motor vehicle accidents are 2 of the major areas of concern for the St. Catherine Division, as last year we responded to 863 bushfires, and though this was a reduction when compared to the previous year, it still leads to the island in terms of the number of bushfires responded to by any division, said Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Stuart Beckford. Commissioner Beckford was addressing the official opening of the new $59 million Old Harbor Fire Station in St. Catherine on Tuesday, April 19. He noted that bushfires resulted in poor visibility for users of the highway, which is in close proximity to the town. We know along this stretch of this highway, When there are bushfires, they tend to interfere with the movement of traffic because of poor visibility, and we would have seen in the past where accidents would have resulted from this, he said. The commissioner urged farmers in particular to be mindful of the destruction that can result from fires. Slash and burn is one of the methods used by farmers to clear land. It involves the cutting and burning of trees as a method of clearing the land for cultivation. Simply human errors sometimes result in these fires getting out of control, which leads to destroyed farmlands and damaged properties. Meanwhile, Commissioner Beckford informed that last year the team from the Old Harbor Fire Station responded to a total of 358 emergency calls, to include fires involving both residential and commercial properties. These include but are not limited to motor vehicle accidents, fires involving motor vehicles, and bushfires. For this, I want to specifically commend them, he said. The Old Harbor Fire Station is expected to serve approximately 35,000 persons in Old Harbor and its environs. Some of the amenities of the new station include gender-specific bathrooms, male and female dormitories, reception area, offices, and a recreational area. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.